All right, so let's jump right in. We're looking at something pretty different today, a new kind of AI mentor. And its goal is huge, to totally rethink how we learn real, practical, hands-on skills. So for a minute, just push aside the idea of video courses. Forget the textbooks. Instead, what if learning was just a conversation?
Yeah, this quote right here, it really nails the core problem, doesn't it? Traditional online learning is a one-way street. It feels like a lecture, right? You're just sitting there, watching, listening. There's no real give and take, no actual interaction. It's pretty impersonal, and let's be honest, for a lot of us, that's just not the best way to pick something up.
And this is where we see the contrast, laid out super clearly. Look, on one side, you've got the old way of doing things, right? It's basically a monologue you have to listen to, and you're probably paying a subscription for it, month after month. Plus, it's almost always just in one language. But then you look at the LELAIL Mentor, and it's a completely different story. It's an actual conversation. You pay once, that's it, and you get it in more than 100 languages. That's not just a small change, that's a whole new way of thinking.
Okay, so let's officially meet this AI mentor, because we're not just talking about another app you download or some new software tool. The whole idea here is to give you something more, like a personal, interactive mentor that you can actually talk to. And here's the key thing you need to grasp. LELAIL is voice first. What does that mean? It means you learn by speaking and listening. No keyboards, no clicking around. It's designed to build personalized training for you right there in the moment. And it's laser focused on those hands-on skills. We're talking trades, caregiving, and running a business.
100 plus. I mean, wow. This number really drives home one of the biggest selling points here, accessibility. We're talking more than 100 languages. So it doesn't matter if your native language is Hindi or Spanish or Arabic. You can learn in the language you're most comfortable with. You can even switch between them on the fly. Think about that. That just tears down a huge wall in online education. And then there's this, the other game changer, the price. £29. And that's a one-time thing. You pay it once and you're done. No subscriptions, no hidden monthly fees. You get lifetime access. That is just a totally different business model compared to pretty much everything else you see in online learning. Okay, so let's just recap the key features here. It's voice first, which means no typing. It's got those 100 plus languages and absolutely zero subscriptions. But that human-centric design bit, that's not just some buzzword. This was actually built by an engineer with 4 decades of experience, so it's got real-world, practical logic baked right into the AI. Oh, and yeah, you even get a certificate of completion when you're done. So all of this is building up to a really big idea, how to future-proof your career. But you might be wondering, why these skills? Why focus on trades and care? Well, this is the whole point right here. AI is getting incredibly good at office tasks, we all see that, but what can't it do? It can't wire a house. It can't fix a leaky pipe. It can't provide genuine empathetic care to someone. The skills this mentor teaches are fundamentally hands-on, which makes them way more resistant to being automated away. And here are just a few examples of what we're talking about. If you're looking at becoming a domestic electrician, it'll walk you through the essential theory, safety standards, circuits, all that. For plumbing, it's all about mastering the logic of diagnostics. For something like special educational needs care, the focus is on developing empathy-based frameworks. And even for small business management, it gets into the nitty-gritty, like how to create a GST-compliant invoice. Okay, so that all sounds good in theory, but how does it actually work? How do you start your first conversation? Well, the whole goal seems to be making it as simple and intuitive as possible. It really just boils down to 4 simple steps. You open LELAIL, you speak your goal. Literally, you just say something like, "Hey LELAIL, build me an intro course for a domestic electrician and do it in Spanish." Then you just start learning, interacting back and forth. And there's this really cool feature where the AI will do confidence checks. It'll ask if you're following along, and it can actually slow down or speed up based on your answers. Then when you're finished, you just ask for your certificate. That's it. Naturally, with any kind of AI tool, especially one that's teaching you important skills like these, you have to ask, what's going on behind the scenes? What's the tech? And more importantly, what about safety? So if we peek under the hood, the engine is all about natural language processing. That's the magic that makes the conversation feel, well, natural. That audio-first design is a massive deal for accessibility. You could be learning on your commute, or it could be a game changer for someone with a visual impairment. And this is crucial. It's all built to align with the EU AI Act standards, so there's a focus on transparency and safety from the ground up. Okay, and this might be the most important point of all, so listen up. The platform is extremely clear about this. These courses give you the foundational knowledge. This is not, and I repeat, not a substitute for getting your hands dirty with real, accredited, practical training. The idea is you use this to learn all the theory, the logic, the safety standards before you go out and get that necessary in-person certification wherever you live.
So where does that leave us? Let's zoom out a bit. What does a tool like this really mean for the future of how we learn practical skills? And really, it all comes down to this one big question. What if your next teacher isn't someone you see on a screen, but a voice in your ear? We're so used to learning with our eyes, right? From videos, from books. But this is a totally different path. It's a personal mentor that's always there, that speaks your language, and that you just talk to. Could this be the start of a whole new era for job training, one that's truly personal and accessible to everyone? It's a pretty fascinating thought to wrap things up with.